Good musical morning, everyone. How we doing? Happy New Year. We did it. Look at all this cool stuff I have. Look at this cool stuff. Look at it all. Look at it all. Some of this I got for Christmas. Got that from John on air. Now everyone will know. Camera, can you please? Everyone will know. Don't bother me, I'm on air. Got that little guy. Got that little guy. A lot of cool stuff. Anyways, good morning. How we doing? Sorry for the little delay. You know, sometimes technology is cool and sometimes it's just unbelievably frustrating. And today was the unbelievably frustrating part. So, you know, it happens. But how we doing? Happy New Year. Chris, Happy New Year. Chris, Happy New Year. Marty, good morning. Chris, Happy New Year. Neil, how we doing? I hope everyone's doing okay. I hope everyone's having a good, calm holiday New Year start. That's what I'm hoping for. Does anyone got any resolutions? Does anyone do resolutions? Do we even do like New Year's resolutions? Do we? I don't know. I kind of do. What's my cup? I feel like I'm just frazzled this morning. It's a Friday. Usually we stream on Thursdays, so I feel a little out of it. Look at my collar's all messed up. Whatever. We're just having a good time. Wrong arm. This is our tool wall. Tool wall's coming up. I was able to get myself, I gotta learn right there. Bench vise. I never had one of those before. That's pretty cool. I'm excited about that. Be able to do some nice, look at this. That's in the way. I move this up here. Oh, wow. Drink more water, eat more veggies. That's a good resolution. We made a LaGrave family 2026 plan. Involved the kids and everything. Set it into 5 different things, you know, things to work on with my marriage, and then the home, personal growth, finances, and I'm already forgetting the last one. Health, that's what it was. So we were able to go through it with the kids last night. That was fun, family meeting. One of the things we're gonna do is every day, okay? We are going to have table time, required, 20 minutes at least. Now table time, what does that mean? Well, I'll tell you what table time means. It means as a family, we sit at the table and we have some quiet time. It might be playing a board game, or drawing, or crafting, or doing a word search, or even reading. But for 20 minutes a day, we're quiet, we're calm, we're at the table. That just kind of helps promote a little bit of calmness in the home, as it were, because we could use it sometimes, let me tell you. Especially after a week and a half off, these kids could use it. Whew. Hey, what's in your cup this morning? You notice here, I have this like cool little metal cup. That's because for Christmas, my father-in-law got me this. Look at this thing. That thing's huge. I'm pretty sure this thing holds over a pot of coffee. I've yet to be able to fill it up, but it's nice. I guess I just unscrew a little bit and it's got a pour spout. How nice is that? So I just pour it out. I feel very cool. I'm waiting for the moment that, so Molly's not here today. She's under the weather, but I'm waiting for the moment where Molly comes to ask me a question and I can just slowly do one of these, take my cup up and just like pour it slowly, set it down, screw the cap back on, and then just look at her and take a sip. And then just be like, really? But I'm loving it. I don't know if I'm drinking more or less coffee, probably more, but it's a little spread out. I hope. I don't know. I think I'm actually drinking way more coffee than I should be. Coffee. I said that kind of weird. Coffee. By the way, you'll notice here, as I learn how to use my camera, we do have the backdrop to the behind the bench. If you want to add anything to it, if you have some cool art, or you want to draw a picture of anything here, feel free to send it in or email me or whatever. That'd be kind of cool. Maybe see, like this spot here, it's pretty bare, and I think I need to reserve that for more tooling, but I'm not entirely sure what I want to put there. So this is a little empty. Oh, look at this. I gotta work on my, and over here we have some low front coming in that's gonna push some cold air in. We're gonna get some tornadic activity. Anyways, so if you wanna send anything and help me at the backdrop, it'd be great. I'm already happy with it. And I think what I'm gonna do, I might start hiding stuff and see if anyone catches it. I think that'd be kind of fun. I gotta work with marketing on what I'd like to hide. You ever see those, at least here in Northeast Wisconsin, they have those coffee time news or coffee news. In a lot of places, it's like this long sheet and it's advertisements, some articles and stuff like that. But there's always just a little guy. There's a little guy hidden somewhere on that two-sided piece of paper. I love those. Got my son hooked on those and my daughter. I kind of want to do that, just like somewhere back here, there's just going to be a little guy. And whoever finds them every stream gets a prize. I don't know. Maybe that'd be fun. It'd be so hard because it's hard to see. But then people will be like zooming in and like, oh, well, where's it going to be? First one would be super, I'll just like put it up there, just really big or something. But I also think I want to paint that. I want to paint it. Why not, right? I'm loving this space. Huge shout out to, so first of all, Todd and Dee Dee Heid for letting me just build the space that I want. And then secondarily, huge shout out to Tim W., our maintenance guy who built it. He's amazing. And not once did he like, really, you're gonna do that? Or, oh, I don't know if I could do that. I'd be like, hey, can I do this? Can I do that? Hey, I'm sorry, I changed it. Can I do it? Yep, sure, no problem. It was awesome. It's nice. And if I could get my stuff to work correctly, I'll be able to maybe I can do a shop tour. Maybe. But I doubt I'll be able to get my stuff to work correctly because for some reason, every time I've tried to get this to work, it doesn't. But I think I figured it out. So next time I should be able to have a mobile. I'm looking down here because I have my phone and I have it set so like I can have multiple people on it. So, you know, like Marty, you're in the stream. Chris, if you're there, if anyone wants to do a segment, we can do it remotely now. Once I get this figured out. That'd be nice. Anywho's, yeah, Molly's not feeling good, so she's not here today. But that doesn't mean we can't have fun, you know? Like, we can have a good time even though. So, look at this. Gosh, this distinct day. Hey, did anyone get anything cool for Christmas? Anything anyone want to share? Any cool gifts? Or did you give a gift that you're extremely excited about and it went hopefully well? Anything you want to share? I'll start. And I'll get, you know what? Hands down. That's not what I wanted to say. What did I want to say? Molly, what? Oh, she's not here. Shoot. Okay, yeah. I think hands down is the right word. But the winner for me, as far as gifts given, well, my kids always give me the best gifts. So here's what, I don't know if I said this, but there's a museum in Green Bay. It's called the Neville Museum. And during the holiday season, they do a kids store. And all it is a little section of the museum that's blocked off. And you bring your kids. They have a, excuse me. Oh, there we go. They have a list. And it's $4 for every gift. But then that's a to and from. They give the little, like to mom from son. But they go in and they have little quote unquote elves that help them walk through, and the parents are not allowed. Adult free zone, except for the elves, right? But the kids go in, we don't know what's going on. They pick the gifts for the people on their list. We give them the money, and it's $4 a gift, so it's like, it's really nice. They wrap it, they do all of it, so we have no idea what we're getting. So we sent the kids in there with a list, you know, grandma and grandpa and mom. And they had a blast giving them out. I got a tape measure and from my son because who doesn't need more tape measures, right? It was amazing. And then my daughter, because I play D&D, you might notice the dice lights I have here, pretty cool. But she got me a stem kit that's a mountain that creates an avalanche, right? And she says it's for D&D. It's my, what do you call it? Staging stuff, right? It was awesome. It was amazing. Anyways, that was amazing. But I got to give it up to my father-in-law. We had a Secret Santa thing, and he got me the thermos, which was amazing, right? This right here, loving this. A book that I really love, and then that little guy right there. There we go. That guy right there. As from a video game, not a lot of people might recognize that, but it's one of my favorite video game series, and I just put on there merch from video game series, Final Fantasy. My father-in-law does not know it. He doesn't know anything about any of this stuff. So I mean, just like I'm blown away at the effort they put into to really like research and stuff. And for me, that's like so huge, you know. Like, yeah, I can go get that anytime I want. But the fact that someone who doesn't know anything about it did some research and like got it, like, it just means a lot to me. That's what I think. You know, spirit of gift giving and Christmas is that the effort you put in to try to match someone and get them what they want. But anyways, I feel like I'm chatting a lot today about Christmas and presents and New Year's. Let me know, did you get anything? Anything good? I can't wait to hear. Well, in the meantime, we can start fixing some stuff. Shall we fix? Shall we fix? I think we shall. So, where's my stuff? Oh, I have it kind of moved over. There we go. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this sack stand. And this beautiful sack stand. Today, we got a couple things on the list. Today, we're going to be working through some stuff pretty fast. Not fast, but I mean, I have a pretty big backlog. A lot of stuff due yesterday and today. Yesterday, we were closed. I only have one thing, actually, and that's just about done. But anyways, we're going to kind of be cruising through, doing some stuff here. A lot of woodwinds on my bench. And eventually we'll get some brass stuff, I think. Now I have this mobile camera. If I can get that to work, I think I know what I need to do. I just need to do it. I always figure out this stuff right at the end or right at the start of the stream. But let's get to getting. Work on some customer stuff. Yeah? This one is a saxophone. And I have no idea what's wrong with it. Let's figure it out together, shall we? A sax stand is perfect up here, by the way. I love it. And Chris, if you're still watching, I totally copied you on my bench. I've got a standing bench. I've got, look at this pull-out shelf for stuff. I don't have a soldering set up here. I have it more for like, I haven't quite decided fully what I want to use this space for, but right now, mainly just corking. Eventually, we'll figure something out. But okay, let's take a look at this, eh? Grab my leak light. Look at this, look at this. So my box is over there, back there. You can see my hand. And I've got a button here, though. Ho ho! Ho ho! I love these little button switches. I use them a lot. And all they are is they plug in. There's like a relay switch that you use at the plug-in, basically, at the outlet. Move this down here. Alrighty. Let's take a look at this, okay? Yeah, we can see that pretty well. All right, bell keys. Closing pretty well. And you can see, you might notice it's a little, oh, okay, what's going on here? Oh, spring's unhooked. Well, there's your problem. Let's start there, eh? Gonna hook that spring. There we go. That helps quite a bit. So, this key was bent as well. I think we're gonna, I don't think I know. So we're gonna replace this pad, but I wanna get it kind of seated generally where I want it to be. So I got this piece of leather. I'm gonna replace the pad. So, I mean, I'm not too worried about the sealing of this right now. And you can see a leak in there, maybe. Maybe. I'm gonna try something. Will you bear with me? Will you be okay with this? I'm just gonna try something. You ready for this? Let's see what happens. Oh, yeah. Cool. I have a different okay, it's gonna move a little bit. Look at that. Ha ha! Cool. So, I've got a different program that zooms into the bell. How neat is that? The answer is pretty neat. There we go. Awesome. So, you can see right here. Do you see that? Do you see that? Look at, if I push on it, do you see the light go away? What do we got there, folks? What do we got? What do we got? That's right, we have a leak. And what do we say the leak leaks? What do we say the leaks, folks? What do we say to leaks? Anyone? I'm waiting. Bad leak, go away. That's right, here we go. Bad leak, go away, and we will. So, but we're gonna be replacing that pad, all right? So what we're gonna be doing in the meantime, I wanna get this key was bent. It was bent pretty bad. So what I'm doing is I have this piece of leather right here, okay? I'm using that just to help negotiate it. I could use pliers, I could use different things, but if I'm gonna replace the pad, I'm not too worried about bending the felt or compressing the felt too much. So this helps just get the key a little bit to where I want it to be. I almost want the old pad to seal, okay? And that'll tell me about where I want the key to be. But we're not gonna reuse that key. No way, no how, not here, not with me. But to get to that, guess what? We need to take all these keys off because that rod comes out and it hits this one right here. It's this right here, okay? And that's a little annoying. Yeah, that zoom is pretty cool. I figured out that my nice camera here is actually nicer than I thought, and there's a separate program I can use to do some zooming. So I did one little preset just to test it, and I think it went pretty dang well. So we're gonna be able to zoom a little bit more into our saxophones here. Huge. You know what, cable? Can you just, okay. All right, so the screw board, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take the bell keys off, okay? So we can get to this lower key here, because that rod pops out. So we'll replace that pad, and I'm gonna position the spring a different way because it was kinda, the spring here, let's do a little zoomy, huh? Let's see what we can see. This spring back in here that keeps this key up, it came off the hook. That was the issue. The spring hook, the cradle, if you will, right down here, all right? So, and I think when we take that off, it's actually kind of wanting to go down towards the bell, which will promote it to slip off the cradle. So once I take the key off, I'm gonna go ahead and flex and reset that spring so it's facing up a little bit more so it doesn't want to slip off that cradle, and then also with enough pressure to keep the key down. So we're not only going to replace the pad because it's leaking, right? We're also going to go ahead and readjust that spring and hit the tension and get it so that it doesn't want to slide off the spring cradle, which, you know, some people might kind of ignore that and just be like, oh, it's fine. But then when it's in because that spring hook came off, if it happens again, well, who was the last tech to touch it? Me. And I don't want it coming back. It's just those little things that set us apart here at Heid Music. The little things, the big things. Other things. I tried to make like a Dr. Seuss style rhyme, and I didn't. Not even close. Yep, sorry. 2026, the year of more bad rhymes. What? What if I just started like, 2026, the year of, and then just made ridiculous goals? This is the year that I learned how to make my own saxophones. No. But what if? No, I'm not going to. But, no, I won't. No. Everyone? Cheers. It's good. All right. So we have enough of the bell keys off that we're able to, I'm going to turn this light off, access that side key. Also, you know what else is really cool? The buttons, right? Another button right here, ready? Ooh, let there be light! But it's a little bright for back there, and it's a little bright for seeing the leak. So I can just go, I'll just turn it off, that's fine. Yeah. Well, actually, no, it is kind of dark in there, so. Nah, it's kind of light. It's kind of hard to see my sign in the back. But, well, if it's off, I can't really see the thing, so. Why am I the way I am? Anyways. I even add, this is so silly. You can't quite see it. Camera? Over here is my tool thing. I don't know what to call it. I even added a little piece of wood so that my pliers wouldn't fall off so hard. You know, I don't know why. It's one of those things that's like, why, I've been thinking about that for a year. Why did I wait? Who knows? Probably help if I took it off all the way. Got excited. You know what's nice about this saxophone stand? Look at this. I got all this ability to use both hands. Okay, so that key is off. And we're going to take that pad out. Let's go ahead and negotiate this spring hook back. Okay. All I hear is goals, yeah. And all I'm going to do is just take my spring hook, just sort of pull it in the direction I want, slowly. From the base of from the post, just slowly bring it out. If I pull too hard right away, I'm not like slowly flexing that spring to where I want it to be. I'm just bending it right there. I don't know, I don't like to feel it. I feel like that's not really a long-term thing. Just kind of slowly flexing it. Whenever I move metal in general, and a spring hook is metal, I always feel that doing a lot of smaller movements is better than one just big movement. The metal reacts better, it stays where it needs to stay, that kind of stuff. I could just let her rip, just send it, right? But I feel like that's just not the best thing to do. So now, again, now it's a little bit more up, it's angled up and still angled out. So the action of the key will be just as good as it was, if not better. In fact, I know it will be better. So, cool. Let's replace this pad. Let's do that. I feel like the camera could even maybe shift over a little bit more. What do you guys think? Center the saxophone. Metal has memory. It does have memory. You're G-dang right. It does have memory. So, there. Cool. All right, this guy, you're gonna stay right there. I'm gonna take a sip. Coffee. I was gonna go get a pad, but I forgot to take it out of this one. So let's go ahead and do that first. Fellow techs, I know Chris is here. Marty, I think he's still here. If anyone else from the warehouse is here watching, what do I do with my cables for my leak lights? I've always just been frustrated without finding a good solution. I like having it come from the left to the right because that's how I work on my woodwinds, but it's always kind of in the way. I don't know. I wish I had a better, do they need to go up? Maybe, like, it'd be cool if they like came, like a mechanic pulling down a tool or something. I don't know. I've been kind of frustrated. I feel like I still have this ability to just really move stuff around. We're not as busy, so I can keep futzing with it, but any thoughts? I would be appreciative of them. But, boom! Oh, you can't My camera didn't move with me. So I've got this right here, but yeah, I know. So Marty's talking the power sources from the lights, right? Keeps them towards the back. Even I'm assuming even other tools that have a cord that goes with it. I should do that. Yeah, I tend to like sprawl a bit with my tools. I am thinking maybe I should move it up here. Yeah, perhaps. But Matt, what is our signal? Since you're in another room now, do I just yell, "Hey Matt, you ready?" Are you watching the stream? Can you see me? Sorry, Matt's over here. We're figuring out when it's his turn. Here's the thing: is we're like separated now, right? Matt's got his own cool space, and now I got my own cool space, but he's over there. So, so let's get this pad taken out. We'll get a new one put in, and then we'll pop over to Matt. I think that'll be good. So again, I'm piercing the pad with my poker. All right, and then what I'm going to do is, with the heat, I'll do it up here, my nice carpeted area. Usually I'll do that down here, but I gotta show the process, right? So usually what I'll do is take this and, sorry, what am I talking about? So pad removal, yeah. So I pierce the pad, because I don't care about that pad, we're throwing it away, right? So I'm putting a little backwards pressure on this. Putting the end of the poker here, stabbed it, backwards pressure, so that when I heat it with my heat source, right now it's a torch, as that glue slowly heats up and gives way, it'll pop right out. Now, I didn't want to touch that, but then there's like no cleanup in the cup. It's like nothing. It's great. And then I have the old pad. The old pad. Kudos, if anyone can tell me the reference there. So let's go find another pad for this. You're not gonna watch me, you're not gonna see me, but I'm gonna be off stream, off camera, looking for a pad. Doing great, Adam. No one can see you or hear you right now as you slowly work your way through. It's all right, that tech issue stuff in the beginning, don't let it get to you. You're fine, you're doing great. People still here, they're still watching. All right, keep going, all right. And I'm back, unmuted, good, okay, cool. So, let's do this up here. Again, it's the glue that I use. So I'm going to take the glue here. So the pad in this hand, glue in this hand. I'm gonna heat up the glue. Nice and melted. And I'm just gonna slowly paint it on. The goal for this is to have a nice flat table, or base, if you will, for the pad to sit on. What I also want to do is make sure I got enough glue that I seal where the leather comes onto the cardboard backing. So I'm just gonna paint it on, try to get a nice even layer. Gotta make sure you keep your fingers away because glue, as it gets hot, it melts. And then melted glue, as it turns out, is also hot. And if melted glue drips on your finger, it hurts. And it is hot and it hurts. So there's that. That's a true thing and it does happen and it hurts. So when I get that on, I put it on a steel block like that so that it'll cool and be nice and flat. Okay? That's how you put on glue on a pad, y'all. My camera, I froze it. I froze it, yo. All right. Ooh. So you can see right here, maybe you can, maybe you can't. There's kind of a, yeah, right there. Do you see? There's almost like an air bubble or something. So I'm gonna get rid of that by just heating up some glue. I'm not gonna add a ton, but heating up the glue on my glue stick and just adding a little bit will melt the glue on the pad. So if I keep that there, I'll end up fighting that actually. Any gap in the back of the table will manifest into the padding process and you'll just be fighting it. it could be frustrating. You're chasing this leak. You could think it's the tone hole. You could think like the pad or something else, like the pad itself is just, turns out you just have that divot in the pad. It's kind of like shimming a little bit, at least in my experience. So making sure you have a nice, flat, even table will help, okay? Got it? Good. All right. So what I'm doing is I'm heating up the cup that the pad's gonna go into. Set it in gently. Ooh, metal resonators, those get hot too. Gently give it just a little twist, okay? Then we'll put it on the horn and bada bing, bada boom. There we go. So that, my friend, is how you put a pad in. So we're gonna go ahead and keep working on this. But in the meantime, you don't wanna hear about some guitar stuff? You wanna see some cool guitar stuff? Huh? All right, let's do it. It's the Matt Chat featuring Matt with Matt.
Hey everyone. Good to see y'all after New Year's and holidays and all that stuff. I figured just about everyone was gifted a ukulele or a gift card to Heid Music at some point, so I figured I'd give you some tips on maintaining a ukulele and or spending a gift card. So here we have a ukulele. It's a beautiful green-ish color, and we are going to change the strings. Usually they come with just whatever they have at the factory, and it's a really easy upgrade right out of the box. So today we are going to be using a set that I recently misplaced. Here we go. We stock a lot of D'Addario strings. The Nile-Tecs are really cool. They sound nice, are nice and soft, and give you that gut-like string tone. And they tune up really nice. They'll just look better. They feel better. So we're gonna start by taking a little tension off the uke, and then we're just gonna cut the strings. You can't really reuse them at all. So once they're a little safer, we're just gonna snip them. So this ukulele has been hanging out in a music store for a little length of time. Any music store you get an instrument from, it's just a little difficult to maintain proper humidity all the time. So the fretboard dries out a little bit. Frets may be a little bit sharp. Bring that in to see me if you have some sharp frets. It's a real quick process to get that cleaned up. I already rounded these fret ends over, so I'm just gonna come back with some steel wool. It's the last part of the process. Nice and shiny and smooth again. So this is the part that you all can do at home now, easily. So we're gonna take a little bit of our Music Nomad F1 fretboard oil. This is the big tech-sized bottle. We do have smaller, more manageable sizes for over-the-counter use at home. And we're just gonna spread that around on every little bit of exposed wood, even the bridge, especially the bridge. We don't want this splitting at all. Doesn't have to be a super dense, thick coat, just enough to get it shiny. This is just a hunk of foam. You can use whatever you want to spread it around. You can use your fingers or a paper towel. If I did that all day, my hands would be a mess, so I find a piece of foam from like a pickup enclosure and kind of stockpile that as I go through them. So while this kind of soaks in, we're going to prepare our strings. This type of bridge requires you to put a knot at the end of the string, and they get stuck in these little grooves, and there's a little hole in the back side. A lot of like really old ukuleles had bridges like this. So it is the type of bridge system has been around for 100 years at least. Otherwise, you can find bridges that they tie on like a nylon guitar, and there's another style where there's 2 holes and you just kind of loop it around and the string goes through. So your ukulele might be a little bit different than this one. I would recommend just doing 1 string at a time so you can duplicate the factory strings and you won't get lost. So we're just going to put a little square knot in this end. So for those of you that haven't tied a knot in a long time, haven't been camping in a while, right over left is our square knot. We're going to do it twice. Oop, we missed. We're going to redo the last one there. This also gets difficult when your hands are covered in fretboard oil, so bear with me. Okay. So we want to avoid pulling the string too much because it is, a synthetic nylon-ish material. Just you can stretch it out. And then you get an inconsistent string. If it's really thin here and thick further up here, that could affect how it stays in tune. It could break earlier. So if you're going to pull on something, make sure you're not stretching the material too much, or at all, really. So normally I like to keep the little colors on so I know which string is which. So we're just gonna tuck this one in here for good measure so I don't lose it. Here's the green string, denoting it's the second from the top. This we can probably get away with just one little knot. It shouldn't pull out. And we're going to tuck that in there, give it a gentle pull to make sure it's seated, and move on. So this E string's a little bit thinner. Again, we're going to put 2 little knots in here. Like so. Trim the excess off and mount it in the hole. Last string going on. So it looks, this part's a bit of a struggle, but I do enjoy restringing a ukulele every once in a while. Being able to tie the knots is fun. Trying to make it look as clean as possible is kind of a fun challenge. You don't really, this type of bridge isn't quite as satisfying as a tied bridge, but still fun. So we're gonna come back here, wipe off that excess fretboard oil. You don't have to overthink this part. It's just let it soak in a little bit and then wipe it off as best you can. You want all of it off just so your hands don't get oily after the fact. You don't want excess oil. It can cause problems over time if you leave a lot of oil on. And that fretboard already looks darker, a little healthier. All you need is a little bit of oil and it really transforms how the instrument looks. Not quite so pasty and pale. Perfect. Why you want to oil your fretboard so it doesn't dry out. You can get cracks down the centers really easily if you leave your instrument chronically dehydrated. That happens on ukuleles, acoustic guitars, electric guitars, anything with exposed wood, especially a rosewood type material. They don't put finishes on these usually, so it is exposed to the elements a little bit more. So it's important to take care of your instrument so it lasts longer and it doesn't come to see me for an expensive repair bill. I prefer working on old instruments that need repair, that have been played a lot, not new instruments that are just sad and dehydrated. But sometimes it can't be helped. All right, so here's a little tip on restringing a ukulele and getting the correct amount of wraps on the tuning machines. Do not leave any slack. Pull it snug, not necessarily tight. Because the string stretches so much, you don't need to leave excess string like you would on an acoustic guitar, electric guitar, anything with a steel string. Nylon string guitars, like classicals, get a little bit of slack in them, but ukuleles, I don't leave any. We grab our peg winder, again, Music Nomad product. Super nice, like double ball bearing design. I've had this one for since I've been, it's like 5 years, and it doesn't look used at all. A little bit dirty. It's just a fantastic tool. I genuinely do not think there's a better string winder in existence, especially for, you know, full-time tech. The rubber is key, so it's almost impossible to mar a headstock. It's so fast. I don't think I have a bad thing to say about it. There's even a 10 millimeter little socket thing on the end for tightening bushings. Awesome. All right, so we have the string kind of at a right angle as it exits its tuner to the string on the that's attached. We're going to take this end, we're going to loop it back around the string to lock it in place. There's a bunch of different ways to secure these strings on the headstock. Some people do like the luthier's knot, where you ring it around and get it pinned against the machine. I don't. This is just what I do. It's nice and clean. There's not a lot of excessive wraps, and I'm not even going to cut that right now. So we just get it tight and move on. Wash, rinse, repeat. So we thread it through, pull it snug. Wrap it around, back through the hole. These nylon strings are a little tricky sometimes. If you don't put a knot in, they can slip. I do not put knots in steel strings ever at all, just because when that instrument comes back to me or goes to someone else, usually it sticks your finger on something. No one likes that. It hurts more than it should. So I try to be conscientious to the next person that's working on the guitar. But when you're working on slippery nylon strings, first of all, you're not going to get yourself pricked. But because they're a little slippery, you have to give it a little extra insurance. So I'm not cutting the strings in case something does slip. I have to redo it. And since I've started tying the knots this way, I really haven't had too many problems with stuff slipping. So seems to be working. At this point, I mean, you can, if this ukulele has a pickup in it, every couple restrings, or at least when you first get a guitar with an onboard preamp, it's good to change that battery, just so you know when it was changed last and it was a new battery. All right, so we got a little bit of tension on that. We're gonna come back, kind of trim these tails up a little bit. There we go. And now we're going to tune everything up. You can use the onboard tuner. I find them a little clunky and slow at times. I think they're good for just fast tuning if you're like on stage or something, but at the shop, I never use internal tuners. So I have the D'Addario Nexus rechargeable tuner. Again, I don't think I have a bad thing to say about it. This is only my second one in 5 years. I broke the other one. It was my fault, not D'Addario's fault. But I charge this thing like once a month, maybe. It just lasts forever. I can't recommend it enough. Ditch your Snark tuner and get a D'Addario Nexus rechargeable tuner. I think they make them for orchestral instruments too, a little bit bigger clip, I would imagine. So a lot of stretching going on here. Strings clicking into place. I tune past the note usually. By the time I get back to it, it is below the pitch I want anyway. So it helps the stretching process. I'm not going to pull on the strings at all. Again, I don't want to create inconsistencies, thin spots and thick spots in the string. Just this straight linear pull is gonna be a little more gentle and ensure the string doesn't like wear prematurely or play out of tune. And there's kind of a point, like if you just bring it up to pitch, they kind of like give up. I don't know, they stretch, you're tuning, and then the string goes, oh, I'm tired. And then it just pulls up to pitch, and it's kind of fun. And it stays in tune pretty fast. So, just clip all your excess strings, give it a wipe down. I use the Music Nomad guitar detailer on pretty much everything. It's safe on matte finishes, vintage lacquer as long as it's not too checked. Polyurethane finishes like this. I can't use it on open wood, of course. Don't use it on a fretboard, but pretty much everything else. All right, cleaned up. Last bit of the puzzle is a humidification system. If nothing else, whether you have, there's a violin there, there's clarinets and stuff. If you have any wood instrument, they make them for all sizes. In Wisconsin, when it gets cold, this is essential to protect your instrument. Again, bring in to me if you have questions on restringing or something happens, but this will keep it out of the shop for cracks and kind of structural stuff. It releases moisture this time of year, it absorbs moisture in the summer. It's not fun, but when you're done playing your instrument, you really should put it back in the case with a humidification system, and that's just how you keep it safe. This one doesn't need any water to be added to it. You set it and forget it. I have these all my acoustic instruments, and they've lasted for multiple years. Sometimes that's not what they advertise. They say like 6 months to ish, but sometimes you get lucky if you have your guitar in like deep storage or something, and it just lasts and lasts and lasts. And I don't have any cracks in my instruments, so it's how you can protect your instrument too. Anyway, absolutely, you can buy 10 of them here. I'm sure we have them if you want. And then then go back and retune your uke. The nylon string stretches in its fairly annoying. But that's just how it is. Yeah, that's a ukulele string. And how to spend money on a gift card. All at the same time. So, yeah, glad I could help today. It's the Matt Chat featuring Matt with Matt.
I gotta get a second mic. I gotta get a second mic. I will eventually. Hey, Matt. Sorry. Technical thing, really quick. Keep your phone on so it doesn't mess with Teams. If you don't mind. Okay, cool. All right. Because I think I figured it out, y'all. I think I figured it out. I think so. It's going to be cool. Hopefully, we'll find out. Yeah, it's going to work. Anyways, let's go ahead and just kind of keep looking at the saxophone for a little bit. And then I can show you, I was going to do a head joint cork on a flute. And I figured it out. I got the camera to work, hopefully. I think we could actually show you. That'll be fun. So, but let's keep going. Excuse me. I did go ahead and put this key on so that that's working. So let's go ahead and put the bell keys back on of the saxophone, because I believe that was the main issue here. But we honestly haven't even looked at the rest of the saxophone because we saw that problem and we went to solve it. So, also, sorry. Chat, dings in the chat for Matt, huh? Dings in the chat for Matt. Ugh. Yeah, maybe I should spend some time this weekend fixing some of those transitions. You notice a little went back to the other camera for a moment. Got to fix that. 2026, no more mistakes. 2026, no more mistakes. 2026, perfection. Should we have like year themes? Should we do that? Because we are coming up on a year, by the way. We're very, very close. Should we have themes for the year? Behind the bench, 2026, behind the bench. No more mistakes. That's aggressive. There's a podcast. The reason I bring it up is a podcast I listen to. I really, really like. Hashtag not sponsored, but my brother and me, big fan. But they do year themes. It's always fun. We could maybe do it. Because isn't that imitation what is it? What do they say? Imitation is the best something of something? I don't know. Anyways. All right, we got all our keys back on. Let's check. The bell keys weren't leaking. They weren't originally, but something happened here. You know what? I'm a dingus. You know what I did? I didn't put the key on the actual key. Oh, Adam. What are we gonna do with me? It's all right. 2026, no mistakes. I already broke it. I already ruined it. All right. What other ideas could we do? What else could we have for the theme? Behind the bench, 2026. Living on a prayer. No. So what I did, I'll show you a little bit better. So obviously there's two pivot screws. One we're removing, the other one's still here on the horn. And what I did is I made sure to not put the key on the actual pivot screw, so it's just sitting there, because I'm a dingus. Let's try this again. Boom, there. Now we can put it back together. Now we can do it. Listen, I'm sorry. 2026, no more apologies. Ugh. All right, let's make sure we do it right this time. Here we go. Yeah, I was so confused because those bell keys were just fine, and I went to go close them, and they were just all over the place. I'm like, what? I'm like, what? What? Is my camera following me today? Wow. So we'll get this back on. We'll do a quick check of the rest of the horn. And then, yeah, I want to shift over to, should we do a head joint cork on a flute? On a flout? That should be fun. I think my camera's still working. I also figured out studio mode in OBS, so now I can make changes on the fly without anyone knowing. So that's pretty neat too. All right, let's rehook and let's check. Let's do it. All our spring hooks back on. And I did check that spring hook, the one that was all wonky there, and it was actually a little tight, so I loosened it just a little bit but didn't change the angle, so it won't be a problem. There we go. This got bent in the process. I accidentally bent that. There. All right, let's go through real quick, check the rest of the horn. Yeah, got a couple bent keys here. Someone really rough on this one. So with saxophones, I use both my leak lights because I am extra. So I have the leak light you all saw, and then I got this one, this long one, which, by the way, DX Tools, sponsor us, dude. Look at this. I use your leak lights all the time on stream. Got this one, and I got the small one. Use them all the time. DX Tools. They're very, very nice. Not sponsored? Not yet. All right, so, okay, here we go. We got, okay, gang, this horn needs some work. We got leaks all over the ding-dang place. drbadleak really struck this horn pretty wild. Yeah, up here, just one of the palm keys is just leaking like crazy. So we're gonna have some work cut out for us. We're gonna replace the palm keys right off the bat, I can tell. That's gonna be the case. Upper stack actually isn't that bad. That's good. Lower stack. Slight adjustment there in the G sharp. E. Oh, okay. I may have been a little dramatic there. Not that bad. We have the palm keys leaking, so. If those palm keys leak, it's really hard to play the ding-dang horn, eh? Yeah, so we got some leaks to take care of there. But I want to do, turn these off. I really want to do a head joint cork with y'all. So will you join me? Will you join me as we do that? Let's do this here. So let me grab the flute. What did I do with it? This is in specifically, they said we'd like the head joint cork replaced. So of course I can do that. Yeah. There's your problem. That thing just slides right out. It doesn't look that old either, which is a bummer, but that's not supposed to just slide right out. That's supposed to like hang out for a while. That's supposed to like chill. That's supposed to be there, you know? So that's a bummer. So let's go ahead and we're going to move this aside. We can take a look at what we're going to do. Unscrewing this here, the crown, as it's called. And let's see if we get lucky here. I'll just take my nip picks. I already know if I set it down one, it'll fit this not perfectly. For the top plate, comes right off. That's good. That's good. Okay. Whoop. There we go. And are we lucky enough to have this? I'll use my nip picks here. Sometimes it's not glued enough down here, and you can just unscrew it. Yeah. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Oh, there's a little, you get a little flute ASMR. I should make some of those. Hey, that's a question. Is that anything? If we do some like repair tech ASMR stuff, is that anything? Like, what if you just heard this? Or the squeak of that, or a chop of a cork, or the heating of a torch. Is that something? Where's my torch? Molly, where? Oh, she's in here. Is that anything? I'm asking. All right. So what we have now is I got a jar of head joint corks. I like to use these. They're pre-beveled in the top. I just recently saw a discussion about corks and the beveling and stuff. I don't know. This is what they taught us in school. Bevel the front so it's easier to go in, and they sell them pre-beveled. This makes it pretty nice, pretty easy to use. So that's what I use. There. I don't know. I'm willing to be swayed to try other things, but so far it works. So I've got my glue here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue the bottom, the base of the assembly. And then I get the bottom of the cork, and I try to get a little glue inside of the hole where it's going to attach to the base. So I'll get the top, and a little inside. All right. Give that a moment. Just push it on through. Seal right up. Then we get the top. Not trying to get sloppy, just a little bit on there. I want it to adhere. All right. Okay. Woo! And we're just screwing it on. So again, I'll grab my nip picks. I know that second spot is perfect for this. Just get it on. I'm gonna get it really nice and snug. Not too much. There we go. And if there's any glue that's coming on, we'll just clean that off. Okay. Now we're gonna do some sanding and fitting. So this, my friends, is where we're gonna hope that I did the thing right. Okay, let's give it a shot. Wait a second. There we go. Are we ready? Here we go. Can you still hear me? I think you can. Excellent. This is my bench motor. It's beautiful. It's awesome. I love it. So hopefully you can still hear me. Yeah, nice. I did it. Nice. Okay, I should maybe add like the front cam to this too. But hey, you know what? We're going to start here. So I've got sandpaper. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to chuck. Where's my chuck? Oh, here it is. Okay. So I'm just going to get this in there. This is my bench motor. I bought it. I own it. It's a nice one. It's a variable speed, which I really, really like, meaning I can adjust the speed. So I'm just going to give this, I'm not going too tight here because we're still on the threads there, right? Just enough to keep it secure. And it's pretty loose in there. But so what I mean by variable speed is that I can push this button right there, right? I start slow, and then I can slowly speed it up just by the turn of a knob. Oh, oh, oh. That thing's cruising. But we don't want it to go that fast. So what I don't have here yet, and I will, and I'm going to again copy Chris because he's really got it set up there, is I'm going to get a little attachment here so that a vacuum hose can be there so that when I'm doing this, it doesn't just get sawdust everywhere. Today, it's going to get sawdust everywhere, but that's okay. We're fine with that today because we know what we're doing. All right, so I just got a strip of sandpaper here, and we're just going to slowly start to form it because I know right away it's too thick. I just know that. So we're going to form it. Going to put a slight bevel to it, and we're going to fit it to the head joint, and we'll kind of go from there. All right, let's start. Slow speed, right about there. Just take the sandpaper and let it do the job. I will say, this is a different angle than I'm used to. So if I make a mistake, that's okay. 2026, no mistakes. 2026, no mistakes. Just learning opportunities. Yeah, Chris, this is making a huge mess, so I'm definitely going to copy you. I got to get that little clip you have. Look at all this sawdust. Good grief. Listen, my shop's growing, so. All right, let's, here's a little tip about bench motors. Never leave this chuck in there. Never do that. That's not how you store it. Because if you start it with that, that thing's gonna go flying, that's gonna hurt someone. So don't do that, okay? All right, so now I'm just gonna pop it in there dry, kind of see where it sits. So you can see through the hole there, it's still got a way to go. There's a lot of different ways to do this. Some people use calipers, I know that. It's super accurate. I need to get batteries in my digital ones because I'm gonna be honest, I have trouble reading my analog calipers because I'm not a smart person. So I got digital ones and then the battery died and it didn't really help me that much. So 2026, no mistakes, just happy little accidents, learning opportunities. So what we're aiming for is a snug fit. I don't want to have it too thick so that it like expands the metal. Head joint cork metal can be, not head joint cork metal, head joint metal can like move and expand. So I don't want to like have it, if I put it in there just like that, you could force it, but I think that it would be a little too much and it would distort the head joint, you know? So I'm aiming for, I want to be able to start to see the cork, which is that right there. That's usually where I think it's a good spot to start. And then we'll push it in, and that's just by gravity, right? I didn't push that in by any means. I just dropped it in and you could see at that point. So I think that's gonna be good. It's so dusty. Chris, I gotta get this shop vac. Let me know where you got that clip from, because I gotta get one. And I could put it right here, gang. Jeez Louise. All right, so now I'm just gonna put a little bit of wax on it, just like this, paraffin wax. I used to just use cork grease. That's what I was kind of taught where I was at, but I don't believe that it really did a good job sealing now that I kind of look back at it. So now I was taught to use some cork grease and I'm happy that I did that because I feel like I do a better job. Now, I'll slide it in. Get my cool little tool. My cool little tool, here we go, here we go. All right, let's see if I can not mess this up. Here we go. Hey, all right. So, I've got a nice tool here. Do you see? Is it hard to see? Someone's trying to call me on a different phone. It's got a line right there. So what we're looking to do is we're gonna push this cork in, and we want that line to be in the center of the tone hole? What do we call that? I know there's probably a technical name for it, but I am drawing a blank. Blowhole? I don't know. What do we call that? Oh, I laughed and then I went a little too far. So I'm gonna put the crown back on. I got it just about center. Let's see, I should go up top here. Just about center. Okay, can you see that? See that line? And I'm just gonna tighten the crown a little bit to get it right on center. Boom, there we go. A little bit of wax to clean up, so I will clean that up. What is this called? Blowhole's not the right answer. And then, I'll just take a heat gun and just slowly heat up the outside so that wax melts and seals, and then we're good to go. Not too much, just a little bit. Boom. Look at that. Probably. Marty's like, probably. I don't know. I fix brass. Cool. There we go. that'll be good. I gotta look at the rest of the flute, of course, right? Not just gonna. Yep, blowhole's the right answer. Hey, Michael. We're doing the stream right now. What's the? I love it. Sorry. You know, what's this called right here? On a flute.
Oh, yeah.
The hole.
It's just the hole in the lip plate.
Is it the blowhole? Michael, do you want to show off your new look? Are you? Because look at this guy. Look at this guy with his mustache. Look at that. I love it.
We'll see how long it lasts.
It's Michael's store manager here at Green Bay. So.
Yes, not normally with a mustache, but.
Yeah. No, I think
Yeah.
I think it should stay. It's nice.
Okay, we'll see.
I really
we'll see
like
how
it.
it goes.
Yeah. Anyways.
New
all
year,
right.
new look.
New year. 2026. No mistakes.
Yeah, year of the. I don't know, but okay.
I think it's the year of the horse.
Year
but
of the blowhole.
yeah, year of the blow. Year of the blowhole. Anyways, all right. That's pretty good. So, yep. Thanks everyone. I think we're gonna call it there for today. Oh, that was fun. We got some stuff to fix yet. We got our cameras working, which is huge. That's the biggest thing because now we're gonna start doing some remote stuff and bringing in more techs. It's gonna be awesome. It's going to be awesome, just awesome, decent. So, everyone, Happy New Year. Thanks for coming. 2026, no mistakes, behind the bench. That's going to be our year motto, I think. That's going to be great. No mistakes. Ooh, we'll see. Anyways, thanks for coming out. I hope you have a great rest of your, weekend. Yeah, it's Friday, right? We will see you normal time next week, Thursday, back on schedule. Getting closer and closer to that 1 year mark. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So anyways, have a great weekend. We'll see you next week, Thursday, 8:30 Central Time here at Behind the Bench. And as I always say, keep her going, keep her good.
Let us help you find your melody at